Grace and peace. Oh man, it took a minute for this one. I'm in a whole new week and I didn't do anything last week. Didn't make not a video last week. And that's my bad. I was doing a lot. I don't even, I had a weekend with my sisters and with my sister. And throughout the week, I can't even tell you what I really did. Let me stop frowning, because every time I do a video, like, the thumbnails look so weird. They look like I just frown all the time. Man, I'm telling you, it's horrible. So, I really don't know what to talk about today either. But I think it has something to do, I think I want to talk about renewing of minds and not having any excuses. That's what the word was Sunday, to not have any more excuses. So if you think you can't do anything, don't let your old self tell you that you can't. I'm just, making it to where this is how I understood it, and this is the way I'm saying it to you guys. So it's just like my default self says so much, so many bad things, and things that really aren't true, you know what I'm saying? And just I have to keep myself from, I don't keep myself from doing it. The Lord helps me with that. And so it's like I'm doing my best to talk myself, or to just keep the word ever before me, so that I don't think like I used to about myself. Don't be making up excuses as to the reason that I can't do something, or as to the reason why it hasn't happened yet, or it ain't moving, or, things like that. So today I had to do that. And I had to do that more than once today, because my mind wanted to tell me, it ain't gonna happen. So I'm gonna tell you why my mind was saying it wasn't going to happen. I'm going to tell you about why I was, what I was, going back and forth with. So I had wrote this play, and it was the first thing that I have ever finished. A goal of mine it's the first thing that I have ever finished from beginning to end, and it is done now. And when I tell you, after it was finished, it was like, what do I do next? I couldn't believe that I had did it, because I've said a lot of times, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. I'll get halfway through it, and then it would be nothing after that. It would just be open-ended. I got projects in my house that are open-ended. They're supposed, I got good intentions to finish them, I promise you. But then it's just they're still halfway done. But this is the one thing that I have finished from beginning to end. The Lord allowed me to finish it. And He helped me with it too. And it's just I can't even understand. So after I finished it, and God helped me kind of put it in order, make it look right, as far as visually, make it look right. It has a title. It's called A Time of Love. And then after I put the end on it, I just immediately looked up okay, how do you make a manuscript a book? This is what I said to myself. And so I looked that up on Google, and it gave me this website, and it was, I checked that out and it wasn't it. So then I went to the one that was right underneath it and it said free. And if anybody knows me, your girl loves free. Okay. If I can get anything for free, I love it. So when I checked it out, but it was free information coming back to me. So they were going to give me free information, which they did. And then also I spoke to one of their acquisition agents and stuff like that. And so in speaking to Miss Cherie, that's her name. So in speaking to her, I expressed to her, you know, as I'm talking to her, I'm like, God, how do I describe it? Do I even know what it's about? And he like, yeah, you know what it's about. So he like re-downloaded into my spirit what I had already said. So that was just a blessing to know what it's about and to know how to describe it and to know the reason as to I wanted to write it and it was written. And so it started out as a play, you guys. It started out as a play. But it has changed into, I feel like it's a book. Right? And I had my sister tell me, as I was writing it, I had sent it to her or sit down with her and let her read a little bit from my laptop. And so she was like, well, maybe it's not a play, Tony. Maybe it's a book. And that is the reason why I think it's a book. Because I never thought of it as a book. I just thought of it as a play, but it could still be a play too. It could still be a play. It could be a book. It could be anything. So it could be whatever God wants it to be. And that's really what I want it to be ultimately. So back to the story. Let me not get off track. I was talking to Miss Cherie and then she said, well, you know, send it to me and everything like that. So I sent it to them. They read it. It took like 3 days. So I sent it on like a Tuesday. She called me back on Friday and she said, well, congratulations. We would like to publish A Time of Love. And I lost it. Like God, you know, like I couldn't even understand. Like why they would publish me. So I'm just speaking my mind to you guys right now, which I had to correct, right? Which God corrected. I didn't correct it. Let me get that straight. The Lord corrected me because I was about to go hard on myself. Like, oh my gosh, like now what do I do? Like, and on that day that she called me, I think it was a Friday, I felt as though like I don't know how to be great. I don't know how to do this thing. You know, like it's going to require to do something like it. And I don't know how to do that. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if Tony could step up to that. But God has renewed my mind on that Friday, like he had to renew my mind today, that I'm not the same person that I used to be. So I went throughout that day. I didn't say anything. I just sat with it. I didn't tell too many people. I think I told, you know, one person. I was in a car with my sister. She heard it as Cherie told it to me, that congratulations. And then I told one other person and that was it. And I was so in shock. No, I told 2 other people. And I was so in shock that I didn't tell a lot of people. Because sometimes I could be wrong, you know, sometimes I could get it wrong. So they sent me the offer letter and everything like that. And I did not read it that day. I read it today, which is Monday. And so as I was reading it today, it was a lot of things in it that I was just like, oh, wow, this would be great. I could see this happening. I could, you know, I would love for this to happen. You know what I'm saying? But as I'm on my way to work, let me back up just a taste. As I'm on my way to work, right before I read the offer letter, I was talking to the Lord in the car and I was just like, okay, God, I don't want to think like this. I don't want to be like this. And just, you know, can you help me just be calm on the inside? Because I was already planning to read the letter. Can you just help me be calm on the inside? And can you just allow me to be patient, and I'm just gonna put it all in your hands, and you do with it what you will. And 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 I said some other stuff, but that's the most important, is that I ask the Lord to do with it what he will, and also to help my mind. So I get to work, I read the letter, and at the end of the letter they wanted, like the certain things that they offer, or what they were going to do, like, send it out to different outlets and stuff like that. They had a price for that. And so, the prices were pretty high, because I was just like, man, I don't have that money, Lord. And as I was reading it, I just kept saying it in my head, like, God, I don't have none of that. So then I sat still after I finished reading everything. The very last page was for me to put my credit card and everything on the piece of paper and to send it back to them. I was supposed to sign it and send it back to them. I just didn't sign it though. And so I'm sitting there and I'm like, God, how do I do this? Because what my bank account looks like. I literally have $80. And so it's just like, God, I don't know how this is possible at all. Like, it's impossible. Because I don't have it. And so in my mind, I felt like, well, this ain't the way it's supposed to happen. Maybe it's not a book cycle. So I started going to the left. So then I just stopped. And then I started dusting at work, And so as I'm wiping off stuff, I'm still talking to the Lord. And I'm like, Jesus, can you just help me get my mind right? Because it's going to be whatever you want it to be. And I just need you to help me not feel sad, like somehow because this looks like it's not working, that it ain't working. If that makes sense. Like somehow, because it didn't happen this way, somehow it's not going to happen. You know what I'm saying? Or it, like somehow, I did it again, like it's happened again where, I've done something, not like this though. Or say like something at work or something, whatever, and it just didn't pan out the way I thought, right? So that can happen in any area in my life. That when I think that it's supposed to happen a certain way and it don't pan out that way. And that's truly my mind too. You know what I'm saying? I have these expectations and it just never happens the way I think it's supposed to happen. God he don't do it my way. And I should know that already, but somehow I don't know. I just forget that. So I call my sister and I ask her to pray with me. I tell her the whole story. I say, I'm going to just tell you my mind right now, tell you what's going on in my head. I'm going to tell on myself is what I said. I'm going to tell on myself, which is what I've been doing lately, just telling on myself, you know what I'm saying? Just being very transparent and very vulnerable with a lot of people. And so I expressed that to her, like how I was thinking and stuff like that. So she said, just take a pause, just take a moment, just think about it. You know what I'm saying? She said, because if God wants it to happen, he'll just give you the money. And that sounds so simple, right? It sounds so simple. But when your default self, when your old self trying to come back up and tell you otherwise, it don't seem that simple. It don't seem that easy. It seems like it's impossible somehow. Like your old self is going to win. So I was like, okay, well, let me just pray. Can you pray for me? Because that's really what I call. Can you pray with me and for me that my mind is clear and that, this thing works out. And then I also prayed for my boss to get somebody to replace me because I really want to go down to his other location because it pays more. I need more money. And okay, that's a whole nother story. Anyway, back to the story because I can get sidetracked. Back to the story. So, and then I just was like, okay, God, I know I didn't pray it like I normally pray, but I asked you, and she was like, God knows. And I was like, I know he knows, but I don't know why I had it in my mind to say that, because sometimes we can get in the repetition of things, like saying it a certain way, praying a certain way, like, oh, it has to be, oh, in the mighty name of Jesus Christ. But like God can't hear you when you say, okay, can you just help my mind? Can you just provide a person to replace me where I'm at the store that I'm at so that I can go to another store? like he can't hear that. He can hear that. It don't have to be all, I don't know what I was thinking, but I said it anyway. And so she laughed and we were like, okay, in the mighty, in Jesus, just amen, And so after that, she asked, she came up and she sat with me and she brought me lunch, which is amazing. And so it was good too. It was a very nice salad. So anyway, after that, she kind of walked around. She kind of left the store and she was going to get something to drink or something like that. And then a man came in. No, let me back up. God sent me a song, and he has been doing that lately. He has been doing that almost every day. He'll send me a song that has to do with like how I'm feeling at that moment. Say tonight how I'm feeling. Tomorrow he'll give me a song for how I'm feeling. And he has just been doing that over the past, I can't even tell you how long it's been, but it's just been amazing. So it was called, that song that's called Reckless Love. I think everybody knows that song, but I changed reckless to relentless because God is not reckless with his love. He ain't reckless with nothing that he does. He's very intentional with everything he does. And his love is relentless. It just continues to keep coming and coming and coming. And it's not reckless. So I switched the words for relentless, even though it says reckless love. So that was the first song that I listened to. And that was before she got there. So then when she got there, we ate lunch, we talked. And then she walked away. And then this man came in, a wonderful man. A wonderful, wonderful man. He was talking about like how people nowadays are just not very kind and, are very angry and things like that. So he was like, the most important thing about the conversation is that he said that, we should be able to talk to each other, is what he said. And then he also said, he was looking me dead in my eyes and I was looking him in his eyes too. And he said as he was leaving, he said, I just want you to know that, the Lord said, created us a certain way. He said God, though. I'm going to say the Lord because that's what came. He said God created us a certain way, and he made us exactly the way we are. And he said, I just want to tell you that you're beautiful and God created you that way. And then he blew me a kiss, which was so sweet. And then he walked out. He said, have a good day. And I think that the Lord just wanted to blow a kiss to me, to tell me that, the way he is making me and changing me is exactly the way I'm supposed to be. No matter if somebody else don't like it, this is the way he wants it to be. And so that's what I got from what the wonderful man was telling me, from what he said. And so he walked out and another man came in. Another man came in like a couple of minutes later. So I'm sitting there. I was about to go to the restroom. And so this man walked in and his name was Dave. I'm going to tell you his name. I didn't ask the first man his name, but this was Dave. And he walked over and he got him a sweater and he found his size and he came over to the counter and he just handed it to me. And I just was like, man, I love how men shop. Like when I tell you men go in, get what they want and they get out of there. I don't know what it is about me. I'm like looking around. I'm still like, I don't know. It's not that easy for me. And I'm saying, I don't even know why it's not that easy for me. So he cracked it. So I was like, how do you guys do that? Just get in and get out. And then he just cracked a joke and he was talking about his wife, how his wife was like, there's a couple of doors in this house that we live in. You can leave one of these doors. So he cracked a joke. And then he told me that they had been married for like 26 years, together for 29 years. And I asked him, what did I ask him, Lord? I said, how did you know? How did you know that she was the lady for you? And he said that she had left and went to a family reunion, but apparently they hadn't known each other that long, so he wasn't invited. And so he said she called him from a Walmart just to check on him. And he said when they got off the phone with each other, he felt this emptiness on the inside of him. And he said, okay, hold on. I don't like this feeling. So I don't ever want to feel this feeling again. And he was like, well, how do I not feel this feeling again? And he said, he related it to her because he didn't feel the feeling until after he got off the phone with her. Like somehow he was missing something. And so he said when she got back, he proposed to her. He said, that's it. You are it for me. And he said he didn't even have a ring, you guys. He didn't even have a ring, but he proposed to her. And he said what shocked him the most was that she said yes. He was like, she said yes. And he was like, that was one of the things that shocked him. And he said the second thing that shocked him was when she walked down the aisle. And when I tell you this man started crying, which is amazing. Come on now. Love your wife like that. He said she looked like an angel. He said, I couldn't believe that she could look like that. He said she looks like an angel. And I loved it. And I was like, oh man, that is an amazing story. But as a story, I just wanted to tell that part. But as the story continued, he further went and I told him about my book and everything like that. And then he expressed to me that I should wait and I should be patient and that I should look at Amazon as far as like letting them publish it. And he was like, you could do that. And basically, he kind of confirmed what my sister said to me when we were on the phone before she came up and had lunch with me. So it was like God had given me two people to tell me what I needed to know. Like, that ain't the end, because covenant is not the way to go. And then what really stuck with me was that he said, if someone wants to publish you, you don't have to pay for that. They pay you. And I said, wow. I hadn't thought about it like that. I didn't even think about it like that. Because if somebody really do want you, they'll pay for you. And so God had been renewing my mind and fixing my mind the whole time. So when he left, God gave me another song. He gave me another song. And so it was called You Haven't Seen It Yet by Danny Gokey. And I know the song very, very well. And some people might say that this is a coincidence, but there is nothing coincidental about Jesus. Nothing. He's very intentional. Because here's the thing. YouTube don't know how I'm feeling. They don't know what song to send me. They don't know that. But the Lord knows how to edify me and to encourage me in the situation that I'm in at that very moment. And he loved me enough to say, you haven't seen it yet. The song before that, to say, I got a relentless love. I love you relentlessly. So don't even think about like how it's not going to happen and things like that. Like, I love you relentlessly. Relentlessly. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you for letting me slow down. Like, I love you so much that I will make a way for you. I will make a way out of no way for you. And I think I just wanted to share that today, is that there is no more excuses. Your default self cannot win. And I don't want my default self to win. God has renewed my mind, transformed my mind. So I'm going to stay there. I'm going to stay there. So you guys be encouraged that if your mind tries to tell you something contrary to what God is showing you and building in you and allowing you to become, then you got to go. You got to push that to the side. You got to set that all the way to the side and go with what God says. So he said today, you haven't seen it yet. He said today, I got a relentless love for you. He said today, Amazon could be the way. I don't know. he said today that it could be an Audible book through them. You know what I'm saying? I've learned that two of my spiritual mother, her book is on Amazon. Another sister, her book is on Amazon. So it can't be all that bad. Might be able to try it. So before I actually put it on there, I have to have somebody edit it. And you know, I'm an okay writer, but I am not a very good at grammar. So I can write it. So somebody else has to check it and make sure it's all right and it's good. So Lord willing, I'll make a video and say that the book is ready and that it has been published and that you guys can check it out and you guys can read it and you guys can be excited about it. It literally is a book written like a play. Well, it's a play. Well, it's a book written like a play, but read like a book. Yeah, that's it. It's a play read like a book. That's it. So, one day I hope I get to share that with you guys. And I'm going to put it in Laura's hands. And once you do that, it can go anywhere. Really. It can go anywhere. So that was my heart today. That was my mind today. I pray you guys are encouraged. Like I said, like, share, comment, subscribe. Please comment because I love the comments. I just want to talk to you guys and, you know, be in community, which is amazing. I love that. I love talking. So God bless you guys. And I love you to life. Have a good day.